What is going on, everyone? This is Eric coming at you from just outside of Hartford, Connecticut. And today we are going to be discussing the Roy Williams wide receiver trade, which occurred back on October 14th, 2008. Now, this was a trade between the Detroit Lions and the Dallas Cowboys, and it saw Dallas acquire wide receiver Roy Williams from Detroit in exchange for 3 draft picks. Now, this trade happened pretty simply because the Lions were in the midst of their 0-16 2008 season, and they decided to get draft picks to help shore up their team. They didn't need a star receiver if they had nothing else. So how did this trade work out for the two teams? We'll start by looking at the Dallas Cowboys. Now, Dallas got wide receiver Roy Williams in this deal, and they had been trying to get Roy Williams for the past 2 years up to this point, so they were happy to finally get the deal done. He stepped in as a wide receiver 2 next to Terrell Owens. Now, unfortunately for him and the Cowboys, he would struggle over the remainder of the 2008 season, recording only 19 receptions for 198 yards and a single touchdown across 10 games. There was not too much cause for concern, though, as he was learning a new system and he was dealing with a foot injury. Now, Terrell Owens was released prior to the 2009 season, and Roy Williams was expected to become the new wide receiver 1 in Dallas. He started off as such, but he ended up getting pushed to the wide receiver 2 role as the season progressed. He ended that year with 38 catches for 596 yards and 7 touchdowns. He had a somewhat similar year in 2010, registering 37 receptions for 530 yards and 5 touchdowns. However, with the emergence of fellow wide receivers Des Bryant and Miles Austin, Williams was released prior to training camp in 2011, mostly due to his cap hit. Not the best, but Dallas also got a draft pick. They got a 2009 7th round pick. This would become the 210th pick, and they would trade it to the Atlanta Falcons as part of a move that they made to trade up a few spots in the 5th round. So they got the 143rd pick in that 2009 draft. With that, they would select cornerback D'Angelo Smith. Now, Smith was waived after training camp, and he was claimed by another team. So, all said and done, not that impressive. Now, how did Detroit do? So Detroit got 3 picks from Dallas, the first of which was a first-round pick. This would become the 20th pick in the 2009 draft. With that, they would select tight end Brandon Pettigrew. Now, Pettigrew had a decent rookie year, recording 30 receptions for 346 yards and a pair of touchdowns. Now, he saw a massive uptick in his involvement in the offense starting in 2010. He ended that season with 71 catches for 722 yards and 4 touchdowns. He had a career year in 2011, setting his career marks in receptions, 83, yards, 777, and touchdowns with 5. Now, his role did start to decrease after this. In 2012, he recorded 59 receptions for 567 yards and 3 touchdowns, and he followed that up with a 41 catch, 416 yard, 2 touchdown season in 2013. Now, he had fallen out of favor in the offense in 2014, as he only managed to catch 10 passes for 70 yards despite playing in 14 games, starting in 9 of them. He had a career-low 7 receptions for 67 yards and a touchdown in 2015 before he tore his ACL, which ended his season. He started off the 2016 season on the PUP list, but he was eventually released due to his cap hit. So, not the best, but not the worst. Now, they also got another couple picks in the 2009 draft, the first of which was a 3rd rounder. This would become the 82nd pick and would be used on wide receiver Derek Williams. Now, Williams would serve as a kick returner as a rookie, returning 42 kicks for 931 yards. Now, over his next 2 seasons on the team, he also added 9 receptions for 82 yards, but he would be released after the 2010 season. So over his 2 years in Detroit. Now, they also got a 6th round pick. This would become the 192nd pick. It would be used on running back Aaron Brown. Now, over parts of 3 seasons in Detroit, Brown would appear in 22 games, recording 45 rushes for 189 yards while adding 18 receptions for 138 yards and a touchdown, but he was released after those 3 years. Now, the other team that was involved in this trade was the Atlanta Falcons. Now, the Atlanta Falcons got a pair of picks in 2009, the first of which was the 156th, which they would use to pick guard Garrett Reynolds. Now, Reynolds played minimally in his first 2 years on the team before taking over the starting right guard role midway through his 3rd year on the team. Now, he was a starter coming out of camp in year 4, but he got hurt in Game 7 of that year, so he didn't play all that much. He returned for one more average season but he would walk after that. They also got the 210th pick in that draft, which they would use to select defensive tackle Vance Walker. Walker was a solid backup for 4 years in Atlanta, recording 80 tackles, 5 sacks, a pair of forced fumbles, and a fumble recovery before he walked. All in all, this wasn't the best trade. It wasn't the most important trade in NFL history, but it had to be discussed. This was the Roy Williams wide receiver trade. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Have a good rest of your day.